Hello friends, welcome to Akulmach Live. I am Chandrakant. Today everybody is working from home and because of that there is always easy access to our televisions. Whenever we switch on the television sets, we always hear something sensational. You know, whenever you switch on, whether it is day, night, in the afternoon, the news channels are creating so much sensation nowadays, so that you're always glued on to the news channels. Also, you keep thinking about these sensational news which are being fed to you, whether these news are fiction, facts, or fakery. We will discuss this today with our special guest who's joining us from UK. Before we start our discussion, I must tell you there is a QR code right now on the screen. And this is a very user-friendly way to get connected with us. All you have to do is point your camera from your mobile phone onto this QR code while the video is still running, and you will get connected to us instantly. We will start our discussion after a short break. Please don't go anywhere, as an outstanding show coming up right now. Welcome back, friends, and today we have a very interesting thing to discuss with our guest today, Mr. Naval Gund. Welcome to the show, Naval.
Good morning, CK. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, we've got a very interesting subject today, which CK and I have been talking about for, well, ever since we were little lads watching the BBC back in the 1960s, where everything was a fact. The news reporter came on the TV and you were glued to it because there was only like 5 minutes, and you were glued to these facts that were being shown. And some were amazing facts, like the Apollo missions of, you know, the Americans and the Chinese and the Russians going into the space arena and doing wonderful things. And we all went, oh, wow, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that brilliant? And we were being fed this information. And we were taking it in and thinking, wow, it's brilliant, you know, this is great. And then we were hearing about wars and we were thinking, this isn't so brilliant. We need to stop it. But they were facts, not fake news, but factual news. And today, I think, CK, what we've found is there's too much speculation out there that's stopping us thinking, that's feeding our mind with gossip, innuendo, what ifs, what might be, what never will be, but we're going to discuss it anyway because it's interesting. And I can see you've got a bit of a smile on your face there. So come on, you must have been seeing things recently that it's just all gossip. It's not real facts.
Naval, basically, you know, I keep having a discussion with my father because my father is always fond of news, because he's from the generation where they used to read newspaper. In fact, when we were kids, we were taught to read the newspaper before we go to the school. So I think that's the habit that the previous generation had. And they literally believe, my father literally believes whatever is being shown on the TV. And he also give examples. You know, it came in the newspaper, whereas there is no newspaper around, you know. So it's like it's like proving the point that, hey, this news is absolutely accurate and correct because it came in the newspaper, even though he has seen that on the TV. So I think that the reality of the situation is that I don't believe whatever is being shown on the TV, and I definitely have debate with my father about what he is believing, and it may not be true. I think that is where we are today.
No, I think you're right. I mean, as you say, you know, your father and my father, similar age. My father's sadly passed away, but I have these arguments with him even now. Really, when I'm thinking about it, he says the written word, that newspaper that used to come to the home every morning, and our teachers would say you need to read around the subject. Many times when you went to university, did your teacher say, read around the subject? In other words, I mean, the internet wasn't there when I was at university. We had a huge library, and the only reading around the subject was physically going to somewhere and reading a book, reading literature, reading a pamphlet, reading a magazine. And you believe they were all facts, as we do with our holy books, but they're all facts. Why? Because they're so many thousand years old, they've got to be facts. They've been proven time and time again. But today, I think we need to take a step back, and we need to start thinking of the reality that it is for us. So if we see, for instance, we see wars all over the world. We see fighting in the street. But does that mean when you open your front door, there's fighting in your street? Now, I know people that think that that's happening, and they won't go to their front door because what they see on the news, they're translating in their mind to say, well, this must be downtown where I am. And it doesn't take a lot of imagination to work out that actually that it could well be true in the future. But the thing is, it's not true now. And it's a lot of speculation that's happening out there that we need to start thinking for ourselves. Did I really hear that? Well, actually, let me flick to another channel, because we can do that. We can flick to it. I mean, there are so many news channels out there, frankly. You can flick to another one. And don't get used to listening to one person. Because if you just listen to one person, you're not really necessarily getting the truth. You're getting the interpretation of that one individual. And this is where influence around the world are having a big impact on people. Oh, I've seen it on Instagram. It's a brilliant, it's a diet pill. It's absolutely fantastic. It works for them. Yes, they're getting paid thousands of dollars to tell you, because they're an influencer, that this diet pill works. Go and Google diet pill and doctors and the Lancet, and you will find there's a lot of information out there where doctors basically say you can fall for this if you like, but actually you need to change your life. You need to change your lifestyle to improve your condition, to improve your health. So, and again, a lot of this is common sense, but common sense isn't common practice. But I think the message for the day is give yourself a reality check. Please don't believe everything you see on the TV. It's not real. Just like Star Wars, it's not real. It might be sometime in the future if we've got Jeff Bezos's world or Richard Branson's world that wants to push the final frontier. It may well be in the future, but it's not real today. And the thing about this is you've got some fantastic directors, TV and film directors out there that make it look like reality. And you get carried away into it, but it's not reality. Elements of it are very true because there are people there and people think like people. Now that can be good news, but actually it can be bad news too. So the message today is give yourself a reality check. When you see something on the TV, take a second look. It may just be an advert that you would like to see happening, but opposed to that, it could be just a bit of fake news. And the other thing is, of course, I don't think any of these news programs that are out there are deliberately putting things out there to make us all feel bad. It's just that that's the way news is. Bad news sells. Any publicity is good publicity. Don't you remember that phrase? Or was it Wanamaker, as it once said, back in the sort of 50s? If I know that 50% of our advertising is working, I just wish I knew which 50% it was. And it would make life so much easier. And so such is true with reality check on the TV, on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Some things that are out there aren't necessarily real. Only you can apply that reality check. But you need to do it. And the only way you can do that is start thinking and having a good conversation with people like CK here. Go and have a chat with him because he's got his 1 foot firmly rooted to the ground. So, good subject for today, CK. It's a bit big, isn't it, really? We're trying to make it light-hearted, but it is quite an intellectual discussion when you start to delve into the reality of life. What's real? What's imaginary? What is pure fiction that we've created? What say you?
Well, Neville, I think the whole media business is run by the advertisers, and there is something called TRP. I don't know whether you've heard that word in UK. There is something called TRP. So in India being such a large country, the TRP numbers are off the roof, actually, if you look at the numbers. And everyone is fighting for getting the highest TRP for their video channel. And in the media business, the top one takes all. You know, when I say top one takes all, that means the highest TRP channel will get all the advertising credits, whatever they can get. So if somebody is selling his car or, you know, some other merchandise, they will always go to the highest TRP bidders. And their pricing for advertising runs for 10 seconds and a batch of 10 seconds. So you can imagine, you know, there is so much money riding on these channels. And that is why they sensationalize every news. So if you switch on the TV, there is always some sensational activity going on the TV. So I think that is one thing which is wrong. And I think time has come right now to pay for the media, because so far when we switch on the TV, we actually get free media. And we are fed certain fiction, which is either created by certain lobby or even by governments. We don't know. We have no way to evaluate that. And you gave the suggestion of watching multiple channels and analyze. I don't think everybody will be able to do that, because it takes a lot of time. What I feel is possible is coming out with a paid media where people actually pay their good money, and hence media is not dependent on TRPs and advertising, and they will be coming out with the real facts because they are getting paid from the viewers directly. This is what my suggestion is.
Well, you know, a lot of people can't handle the truth. They don't like facts. They like to live in their little bubble. But I think now it's got to such high proportions that we can be taken in by the biggest scams out there. And I think this is another message that I'm saying at the moment. I get inundated with texts and telephone calls. Typically, this is Amazon. Your contract will renew for $79.99. Now, I pay $9.99, $7.99 for Amazon. And if someone said, you know, this is Amazon, and, you know, immediately you start to wake up and you think, oh, $79.99? I've gone for the premium package. Press 5, and all of a sudden you're charged £100 because you've actually pressed 5. And it apparently is perfectly legal. They've got round, you know, the law somehow, and you can get really stung quite badly. And scams on emails. You know, I've had emails from Coca-Cola, and then when I look at it, it says Coca-Cola1.com. That's not from Coca-Cola, but the headline is in there. It says Coca-Cola because they've managed to manipulate their Outlook to make it look like it's Coca-Cola. So this is scam arena, and it starts with you being gullible by looking at what you're watching and believing every single word. So this has got a much bigger issue. Cybersecurity is a massive topic, such a big topic that I'll be launching something brand new next year for around cyber kids, helping our young children utilize the internet properly so they can get the benefit from it without being subject to personal grooming. or bullied. You know, this is a huge issue. We've seen it with even the England team. You know, these are grown-up men and they're being cyber-bullied by complete idiots, frankly, who have got nothing better to do than to make your life hell. Well, if you had huge resilience, you could just brush it off. You know, my parents used to say, my mother in particular, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. So call me what you like, folks. I'm really not bothered. You know, it's not going to hurt me. And that's what we need with our young children. You've got young kids, CK. They need to become resilient, not obnoxiously resilient, you know, so that, you know, get out of my way. I'm more important than anybody else, but just personally resilient and competent so that they live and they're respectful of other people. But they're also smart and they can sniff a scam from 100 yards or 100 meters, depending on how you measure. And that's what we need. And we're losing that ability. And unfortunately, we're losing it because we're being bombarded with all of this stuff that they call social media. Starts with the TV, goes onto the internet, and it's on all of these platforms. Just start looking at yourself. You know, what do I believe? Why do I believe it? Do I really like this person? And the point is, it's your life, it's not theirs. Don't let them influence you unnecessarily. So there's a much, much bigger message here, but it all starts with taking that reality check. And if you don't know, if you listen to it and you think, oh, actually, maybe there's a bit of truth in that, have a conversation with someone else so that you can then discuss it amongst yourself as to whether or not it's real and how, even if it is real, what impact it's going to have in your world. Because there are a lot of things out there that we cannot affect. We cannot change. But one thing we can change is how we react to it. So it's a huge subject, CK. And as I say, we've delved into the other side now, the cybersecurity issue, that personal protection, the grooming, the scams, and it all starts with you. How good are you at listening to what's really going on out there? Fascinating subject, CK. Thanks for raising it today. And hopefully it's given people a bit of food for thought.
Yes, Nabil, I think this is very important, and I think the message has been driven. Hopefully viewers start following what you just gave as an advice. This is a very vast subject. You know, we can pick one of these leaf of the discussion today and then make 24-hour long series. But I think we are not going to do that. Thank you so much for finding time and just touching the upper level of this whole problem which is affecting all of us today. But we will catch up with you tomorrow on something more interesting.
Absolutely, CK. And just like anything else, all we've done is scratch the very tip of an iceberg. And we all know what icebergs are. There's about 10% above the water and 90% below. And it's the 90% below that we need to get to, because that's where it's going to make a big impact. Nice to see you, CK. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy your day. Don't believe everything you hear.
Bye-bye for today.
Cheerio.